Hello everyone, do not adjust whatever viewing device you are watching this on. I am not Scott. I am Rob of the Halloween Hour, representing Scott from SoCal Exploring one more time just to talk about my overall experience at Midsummer Scream Awaken the Spirits. So once again, I have to give Scott a huge thank you and shout out. Thank you so much for letting me cover this event for you. I truly do appreciate it, and I had a blast. I was there both days, Saturday and Sunday. You know, the overall environment was amazing. You could smell the haunt season rolling in. You felt the electricity in the air, the excitement in the air. Everyone there was just so friendly. Everyone was there. Everyone there was just, you know, nice and everyone was just, I feel like, happy to have a gathering like this. In my personal opinion, I feel like this is the first big haunt kind of thing where we could all come together and enjoy each other's company, enjoy announcements, and enjoy just vendors selling their merchandise. You had a variety of different things, and right there is where I kind of want to start, is the vendors, which in my opinion, you know, I feel like a lot of people, obviously they're showing up for the panels, the information that's going to be given out over the weekend, but I feel like the lifeblood of this event was the vendors, and all the vendors did an amazing job as far as with dressing up their booths, kind of presenting all their products that they're there to sell, and you can just feel with each vendor kind of the love and detail that they put into whatever they're selling, whether it be from purses to candles to, you know, kind of little sculptures with flowers in them, to professional, very detailed masks, clothes, to baby haunt kind of clothes and outfits. Just overall, the vendors, I think, did an amazing job. I tried to do my best to hit every vendor, whether, you know, if I wasn't holding the camera, I wanted to walk through there and see what everyone was selling, and there was just a variety of different things. You know, this is something that I feel like when you went to this event, you were gonna find something that was very unique and very specific that you probably couldn't find if there was something there that, you know, you saw and maybe you didn't get to pick up. I highly recommend just going on Midsummer Scream's website and checking out the vendors and finding whoever it is that you're looking for, finding them and supporting them, because I feel like, again, we were there to get together and, you know, celebrate kind of, you know, Halloween coming back and the haunt season coming back, but also we're there to support each other, and the best way to support these vendors is to buy their merchandise that they're selling, because a lot of them do put a lot of care and detail into whatever it is that they're making, and it definitely comes out in the product that they present to us to buy. So if you didn't get a chance to buy something from one of the vendors, I highly recommend checking out Midsummer Scream's website. They have a list of vendors and all the slots they were at. I'm just gonna go over some of them. I'm not gonna name all the vendors, just I'm gonna go through a couple of them and just kind of give them some shout outs. So there was Art's Sideshow, Bewitched, Wicker, Chris and Jane's Place, Zombie Gnomes. I actually seen those are cute little gnomes that are zombified, so that's pretty interesting and cool. Feral Cat Candos, Inferno Effects, Southland Ghostbusters, those guys are pretty cool. The Grey Phantoms Designs, T No Evil, which had a bunch of different cool t-shirt designs. There was a Scream one that I actually didn't get a chance to pick up, but it was like Scream telephone company kind of thing. That was pretty cool. It was funny. Immortal Masks, you know, they have very detailed, professional looking masks. So that, you know, those are just to name a few of the vendors that were there, and, you know, there was plenty more out there. Another big presence in the halls that they had there was home haunts and just different haunt places that were going on. Just to name a few, I know I had talked to people at Boomers, and Boomers is actually going to be doing some kind of like haunt mini golf kind of thing. They're doing their own little event. HHN had a small little, very small maze. It was probably about maybe 25 seconds You walk in, and it was a little glimpse of Pandora's box that you got to walk through, get a little scare on. So HHN was there with a little tiny haunt, so that was pretty cool. Six Flags also had a booth there, and you know, they were kind of doing you spin the wheel and you possibly get a ticket to Fright Fest, or you know, they were giving out bags and just different tote bags and stuff like that, so that was really cool. Dark Castle was also there. They had a little, you know, kind of guillotine, is it guillotine? A yoke. It was sorry, not a guillotine, like a yoke kind of setup, you know, where you put your arms in a little kind of picture prop so you could take pictures and put it on the gram. Also, Reign of Terror was there. I actually attended a Reign of Terror for halfway to Halloween earlier this year. My first event with them was amazing. I talked to them. They actually said that the maze that they're gonna do this year is way longer than the one they did at halfway to Halloween. I believe it was back in July, so that's exciting. LA Haunted Hayride had a kind of a huge skeleton display there that was like a picture prop that you could take a picture with, and that was really cool. One of my favorites, High Desert Haunted House, had a booth there, and it was just kind of props and stuff that they use at, you know, their event. So you know, I just started going to High Desert this year, so they kind of have a little place in my heart, and you know, I was glad to see that they were out there. Another favorite of mine was actually last year, was the Haunted Car Wash out in Huntington Beach. They definitely scared my wife. They pulled me out of the car, had me wash the car a little bit, so I didn't know I was gonna get put to work there. I might have not have went, but anyways, they did a great job there. You know, there were other ones there. Those are just to name a few that kind of had a presence that I noticed. So that was pretty cool, just seeing all them. You know, there's so many smaller haunts other than the big haunts. There's so many smaller haunts that I want to hit this year. I probably won't be able to hit them all, but at least I know about them. So if ever, you know, you have a free weekend, or maybe you're not going to hit the bigger haunts, but or you live near some of these haunts, I would say definitely check them out. Again, you can go on Midsummer Scream's website and check out, you know, the haunt, the smaller haunt kind of mazes that are going on, and go and support them, because they do appreciate it and they enjoy having you come out to visit them. And I know they appreciate it. So again, go check some of these haunts out if you get a chance. And yeah, there's other haunts besides, you know, the big, you know, HHN and Knott's and you know, Fright Fest, and there's smaller haunts, and they would really enjoy if you go out there and support them. Obviously, something that we all wait in line for, and it is the panels. Now, I did not get to hit all the panels. I did a few panels. A few of the ones I went to were the HHN Designs and Collaborations, the LA Haunted Hayride, and Delusion. Another panel I hit, and which was probably the most packed panel, was the HHN with John Murdy, where he, you know, kind of talked about, you know, just his love of haunts and him going back to when he was a child, and you know, talking about how he could relate with Frankenstein's monster and how he felt bad for him, and just, you know, the little stories that he told throughout his panel. And he actually, you know, kind of went in, he actually talked about The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. So, you know, that was cool. He showed, you know, some art and stuff like that, and he talked about future things to come as far as this year in HHN 2021. So pretty cool panel. I know Scott has a video of that up on his channel, so you know, go ahead and watch that video so you can kind of see everything he talked about. It was really entertaining panel. So I am not a huge fan of the Resident Evil games. Please don't be upset. Just, you know, I played like the first one way back when I think it was on PS1 or whatever, PS2, but just wasn't you know, never really got into the games too much. My boy over at the Knights of Horror, Anthony, is into the games. We went to see this panel. It was a Resident Evil panel. I believe it was called A Visit to Resident Evil Village. There was 3 ladies up there who were just kind of talking about, two of them were voice actresses, and the other one was a mocap. So, you know, they kind of just talking about their experience and what it was like. And like I said, you know, I'm not a huge fan of, not so much I'm not a huge fan, but I never really played the games, but I was really entertained. They made the panel fun, even for someone who, like myself, who's not played the games in years. I was very interested in the story and the fan base and how it's grown from one game to the next game, and just how they have their diehard fans, and that's so cool. I like hearing backstory about stuff, even if I know nothing about what the property is. You have a fun story or interesting story that goes with it. I'm gonna listen to it because you never know what you can get from it. And I even talked to one of the actresses after the panel. I just said, I let her know, like, what, like, I've not played the games in years. I don't know what the game you're in is, but I was entertained by all of you on stage and just the way you kind of mesh together and kind of how it works and the little behind the scenes stuff. So I thought that was really cool. I know a lot of people were waiting to find out what was going to happen with it, and it is Dark Harbor. We did find out that this year Dark Harbor is not going to be putting on an event. I know people there were kind of waiting. They wanted maybe the surprise event, but that's not happening. But we did get some good news, if you will, that they are planning for 2022. So just time will tell whether or not that event's going to happen. Fingers crossed that it does happen, but they are currently working on plans for next haunt season. One of the panels I was looking forward to when I seen it was the Six Flags panel. And why the Six Flags panel? Because I'm a huge fan of Six Flags. That's kind of the haunt that started me. I started going, I feel like it was back in 2002, 2003. I know I've grown out of the events, but it still has a place in my heart, because that's kind of where I got stuck my toe into the haunt pool as far as going to scary events and stuff like that. It's Scary Mazes. That's kind of where I started. So I was excited for this panel. They showed some really, really cool, some of the mazes are returning. And they talked about this new scare zone that's going over by West Coast Racers in the underground. It's kind of like cyberpunk-ish. So, the colors look very vibrant and poppy. And I like that. It looks like, just from what they've shown, looks like it's going to be pretty cool, very detailed. Honestly, I think Six Flags, their scare zones, I like Six Flags. I know what the mazes are, but I think their scare zones are really, really underrated. I think they do really good scare zones, and especially them using that environment over there. It's very big, and they got bushes everywhere, and they kind of use that to their advantage. So I think Six Flags scare zones are right up there. With all of that being said, I just want to wrap it up and say I had an amazing time. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it so much. No words cannot express the gratitude I have for you allowing me to cover this event. Oh, before I forget, me and Tony got to interview John Murdy, who is the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights here in Hollywood, and that experience was amazing. It was just surreal almost, and that's one of the things I'm just pretty much gonna remember for the rest of my life. So once again, Scott, you're the man, bro. You are the man. I had an awesome time. Everyone there was so amazing. The cosplayers, man, the cosplayers brought it to this event. Even if they weren't an IP, if you will, if they didn't come as the people who came as Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy and all that, they did an amazing job. But the people who just made their own costumes and like they created these things from their own mind, they did a phenomenal job. I've seen so many cool cosplayers, and it's just like, I know that this person spent hours and hours putting their makeup together, putting their costume together. And I just want to say thanks for making the event a little more special, because they enjoy doing this, but also we enjoy looking and watching the detail, and all of you entertain us, and it's so cool to watch. There were times where I was just like, I put my camera down, I was just watching people walk by in their costumes, and just so detailed, and you could tell they spent hours, maybe even over a period of months, putting their costumes together, and they all looked amazing. They even, like, the simplest costumes, you could see the love that was put into them. So everyone who cosplayed, you know, you did a great job. You know, thanks for helping to entertain us over this weekend. Pretty sure they were sweating and suffering a little bit, but we thank you and we enjoyed your hard labor and work. And speaking of hard labor and work, let me also just say the staff and everyone at Midsummer Scream, all the way from the top, all the way to the people that were just taking tickets and cleaning toilets. Thank you so much, because without you guys, the event wouldn't have gone on. I mean, I know they always say like, oh, the fans make it happen, but at the same time, we need people to work there so we can come to these events. And thank you so much, from, like I said, from everyone, from the very top all the way to the bottom. No matter what you did, if you worked this event, thank you so much for helping throw this event on. I know it must have been rough having to deal with all of us for the weekend, but we truly do appreciate it. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you. Saying all that, if you have not subscribed to SoCal Exploring, what are you doing? Scott puts out the greatest content. He's at theme parks. He's doing eating reviews. Scott is everywhere. SoCal Exploring is the name. It should be SoCal Exploring the World or something like that, because Scott's just all over the place, bringing amazing content from the East Coast to the West Coast. So if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button with the bell notifications on. If you're looking for me, I am Rob with the Howling Hour. You can find me Instagram, YouTube, and I think that's pretty much where I do most of my social media is Instagram and YouTube. And me and Scott are members of this great group called the Boo Bros. Now, we're collaboration of guys from the East Coast all the way over here to the West Coast. We do haunts, we do food reviews, we do theme park reviews, we do movie reviews. So if you're into any of that stuff, check out Boo Bros Inc. and you'll be able to find all of us on there. Again, we're like a super team of vloggers. I am Rob. You have been watching SoCal Exploring. Remember, positivity is key, and remember also, keep exploring.